Hey everybody, a happy Thursday out there. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. Boy, we traded the heat for the wildfire smoke. I don't know if that's it's horrible is what it is.
Man.
I mean, our studio in here smells like smoke. Downstairs smells like smoke. I know you're no strangers out there. Everywhere smells like smoke right now. It's horrible.
Yeah, I do want to take a quick second just to thank all the the authorities, law enforcement, response crews that are trying to tackle and make sure that folks are staying safe out there. Because man, even just walking from the car into here, the smoke's bad. Can't even imagine to our north. So hopefully everybody's out there staying aware of what's happening and being safe.
Yeah, we're not doing any strenuous activity. We're just walking around like normal humans. But if you're out there actually fighting the fires, doing all that stuff, I mean, like you said, can't even imagine. So thank you out there, folks, for doing that.
Yeah, of course. And I know a lot of folks here just getting headaches from the smoke that's coming down here. So really hoping that the things improve to our north, but we're going to wait and see. So be sure to join our teams in the evenings here at northernnewsnow.com for the latest coverage on all that.
Amen.
Yeah,
stay safe.
Important to stay updated on it. Well, hey, coming up on today's show, we're going to be joined by the new executive director of Age Well Arrowhead. We're going to be discussing how you can help your seniors here in the Northland want to live in the comfort of their own home with their services, as well as the volunteer opportunities that you can take on as well to help folks out there. I know we've talked about this briefly with Briggs yesterday, but we got to work with Age Well Arrowhead. There's their new executive director there. Very nice guy, and doing the grocery shopping that we did with Super One and then delivering that. That was a great day.
Very rewarding. Yes, that was a wonderful experience, and they're doing some really good stuff. So appreciate it out there for sure.
Great human aspect to it all. So stick around for that chat coming up after the break. But first, a Minnesota cheer squad is proving you are never too old to bring some spirit out there. The Cedar Creek Cheetahs in East Bethel, Minnesota are pairing senior residents with young volunteer cheerleaders, creating a team with an 80-year age gap. Organizers say the international squad is all about staying active, building friendships, and showing that age doesn't have to limit what you can do out there.
Especially with cheer, you should be able to do that at any age, you know? If you can move your limbs, get them up there and start moving those pom-poms.
Yeah, start seeing some lifts, you know? See some cheerleaders being lifted and all that, but...
Just make sure they're at the bottom of the pyramid, maybe, if we're doing the pyramid. I don't know, but
It looks like a fun group activity. It also looks like a fun way to keep the positive spirit alive.
Yes, wonderful. Everyone should be able to be positive, you know? Good news right there, for sure.
News. Well, hey, let's get to some new research. Mom, Dad, Spider-Man, Rumi, who's from K-pop Demon Hunters, Michael Jordan, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Do you know what that list is, Hunter?
No, I don't.
That's quite the list.
Do I want to know?
Some of today's kids' biggest heroes. How about
Sonic the Hedgehog still?
Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog's my hero for sure. A survey of 2,000 parents of children ages 4 to 12 aimed to uncover who the next generation is looking up to and how the definition of a hero has evolved here in the 21st century. So according to those results, those in kids' everyday lives rank as the top types of people they look up to. Meanwhile, most parents out there often define a hero as someone who goes out of their way to help others, puts others before themselves, or who has a very strong moral compass and then sticks to it.
I'm trying to think of, like, on TV who my heroes were, like, as a kid, you know, growing up, like, all sorts of different...
SpongeBob?
SpongeBob, of course. Gotta love SpongeBob. Uncle Phil, like, on
Bel-Air. I can see it.
Oh, my gosh, he was the best. But there's so many out there. I don't know if you had any particular...
I'm trying to think. You know, Kevin Garnett, when he played for the Timberwolves, that was a big hero I looked up to. You know, when LeBron entered the league, too. A lot of basketball-related ones. But I do appreciate they also ask parents out there who their heroes are now as you become an adult and you get a little more life experience. And I do think, like, you know, mom, dad, you just start realizing the folks who sacrifice a lot in order for others' lives to be a lot better. That's a very, very heroic.
That is very, very true. Amen to that, my friend.
Yeah. Well, hey, Lowe's looking to travel out there with their mom, dad, or maybe Sonic the Hedgehog. United Airlines has announced plans to do away with the middle seat, only for some of their flights, however. So later this year, the carrier is going to launch its new Economy Plus option, which will allow passengers to pay for an empty middle seat next to them with access to a shared table in between the two seats instead. So that feature, sadly, only going to be available on United's new Airbus planes. So you have to figure out beforehand if that Airbus plane is one that comes with this option.
Dude, as a bigger dude, I love that. I love lifting the armrest. It's never happened to me where I've just naturally had an empty seat next to me, but, you know, if you can pay for it, I think I probably would, just so I have that extra room to sprawl out a little.
But now it's going to be a problem, too, if you're just slightly over halfway. You know, if Hunter and I are on these seats slightly over halfway on the table, and you got to get the person working to come by and say, hey, they're on my side.
Yeah, get them out of here. What the heck?
I don't know them.
I paid for that. Get them out of here.
I paid for 50% of that little tiny table. I deserve every right to it. Well, I wonder if you have to put that table up, you know, if it goes upright during the,
I would take off and landing. I would imagine they would have to. And that's whose responsibility is that? I don't know who does that.
It's another stressor.
It is.
You know, it is another stressor, daylight saving time. But it sounds like could be a thing of the past.
Crazy.
You know, the Sunshine Protection Act would keep our clocks shifted 1 hour ahead year-round. It actually passed the U.S. House this week. overwhelming bipartisan support in the 308 to 117 vote. Now, supporters of making daylight saving time permanent say it will improve public safety, it'll promote more active lifestyles, and end the twice-a-year disruption to sleep schedules. However, those against it say late sunrises are very tough on farmers out there and early commuters and could have economic consequences.
I don't know how I feel about this. I think I would like to try it out and see what would happen, I guess, but like I personally have not been too bothered by the change. So honestly, I'm almost indifferent about what this is going to happen. But what do you think?
You know, I'd have to think more about the time change in my head, but from what at least I saw on social media, a lot of folks out there living in here in the upper Midwest were saying, yeah, I really can't wait for that 8:45 a.m. sunrise in 30 below weather. It's really going to help my mental health.
It's going to be insane. Oh my gosh. So that would be horrible. But hopefully that would only be what, like 3 months or something out of the year, which is a long time, I guess.
Yeah, it's still a long time. But I guess we'd maybe try it out. I guess, there's no harm in trying.
Sure.
And then if you say we made a mistake, then just do the hour right after.
And we should be able to vote for it, if we want to keep it or not keep it. So there we go.
Call your local legislator and let them know out in D.C. Before we head to break, Taco Bell is temporarily removing some fresh ingredients from their menu as health officials are investigating that parasite that they're talking about. The chain says there's no confirmed link to Taco Bell. However, they have decided to pull lettuce, pico de gallo, and guacamole as a precaution. And the CDC says the parasite can cause severe diarrhea, sadly, and is often linked to contaminated fresh produce.
That's a good band name right there. Severe diarrhea? Something like that? I don't know. But I've been avoiding Taco Bell for the past couple days. I like Taco Bell, but I'm going to wait till they figure that old lettuce thing out.
Yeah, so stay tuned, Northern News Now, for the latest on the Taco Bell fiasco. Well, hey, coming up, we're getting some help with Age Well Arrowhead, and a wonderful conversation coming up after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Since 2014, Age Well Arrowhead has been helping with the community that is, with important services. And here to share more is their executive director, Jacob Dreyer. Jacob, appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So it sounds like you are new to the team. What do you hope to accomplish in this new role as executive director with Age Well Arrowhead?
Well, as you said, we do a lot of work with older adults, not only here in Duluth, but in Superior and the surrounding communities. And so we truly are an organization for the Northland. And so what we're looking to do is continue to expand our services to other communities that may be in need. We've heard a lot from people up into the Iron Range, down into the Moose Lake area, that the need for services like what Age Well Arrowhead provides is just so great, and there's just not that many organizations that do it. And so we have a great opportunity to continue helping people, and that's really what we want to do as an organization.
And let's talk about that mission. Let's talk about also, can you elaborate on the services that you do provide with Age Well Arrowhead that can help folks out there?
Sure. So Age Well Arrowhead provides pretty much 5 core services. So we talk about homemaker services and companionship. That's kind of in-home support. People who can provide things like light housekeeping, organization, laundry, meal prep, things like that, as well as just spending time with someone. In addition to that, we have transportation services to help clients get to and from medical appointments, if they want to do their own shopping, things like that. But we also offer grocery shopping and delivery. And so that's an opportunity for people to also volunteer with our organization, which I'm sure we'll talk about shortly.
Right.
But then in addition to that, we have chore services where we work with local contractors to provide snow removal and lawn care for people who might need that.
And a lot of Northland folks out there, a lot of our wonderful older residents too, they want to live in their homes as long as they can. How important is it to you guys to see them succeed in their current residence?
I mean, that's truly the goal, right? Our mission is to help older adults live how they choose. And so a lot of times that is in their own home. Sometimes it is in assisted living. But what we try to do is say, if you just need one of our services, if you need it just once a week, once every couple of weeks, we want to make that one service accessible to you. So we have a lot of clients who the only thing that they utilize is our transportation service or our grocery shopping and delivery. And we like to make it so that they can do that. Truly an a la carte organization with our services. And we have clients who have lived in their own home and they are the 3rd, 4th generation to live in that home. And the only way that they can do so is if they have help with a couple of these minor things. And so what we like to do is we say, we want to be there for them to help them live how they choose. If that's in their own home, we want to make that safe. We want to make it secure and be as helpful as we can.
And then either for those seniors or for the families of those seniors out there who hear these services and say, oh, I think that would be such a help to our family, how do they get in touch with you guys?
Well, you can visit our website. We just recently redesigned our website to make it much more user-friendly, and that if you want to ask about services, every single page of our website has a very simple form that you can fill out, and that gets emailed directly to me, and I can pass it on to our staff, the
great.
appropriate staff member. Our phone number is also readily available, and a lot of our clients do like the fact that if they call our office, they're going to talk to me, they're going to talk to Peter, Natalie, Kelly. The people who you're going to be working with are the people that you're talking to. And so we just always say, even if you're just kind of exploring what it might look like to get services for yourself or for a loved one, give us a call, because we can talk through what the options might look like. It doesn't have to be something that's super intense, super daunting. It can literally, like I said, just be you need help with grocery shopping and delivery, and we can do that one service for you if that's what you need.
And so as we were talking about, me and Briggs were talking about the other day, folks, years ago we got to do some grocery shopping with you folks at Age Well Arrowhead. It was an awesome experience just getting to see the volunteer work of it and then dropping those off for a Northland senior. How do folks get involved volunteering, or what are maybe the options if folks do want to help out?
Right, so at our organization, like I said, we have those core services, and for the majority of those services, it is paid and background checked employees. But our grocery shopping and delivery program is powered by volunteers. And there's kind of two different roles that you can do. One is an order taker, and the other one is a shopper and delivery person.
Sure.
And so if you're an order taker, you can do that from literally anywhere. We ask that you use a phone to call one of our clients, and you take their grocery order over the phone manually. A lot of our clients really appreciate that connection and the ability to talk through what their grocery order might look like. And so to do that instead of having to deal with an app or an online ordering system has really been something that they value. So that is one of the roles. And then, like I said, the other role is physically going and shopping and delivering that order. And all you have to do is get to your local grocery store, your local Super One, and you shop for the orders, which are printed off there waiting for you, and then you deliver them to the address of our client. And like I said, a lot of the volunteers and clients really appreciate that touch point as well.
I love the human aspect of it all. Do the volunteers out there, do they need special training, or do they need any experience to just come and help out?
No, that's the great thing. We have a staff member named Natalie who is our grocery coordinator, and she'll work with them to make sure that they fully understand the entire process. It doesn't take a long time to get started as a volunteer. And then once you are, we just open it up to say however many people you want to work with, however much time you want to contribute is great. Right now in particular, we are looking for some volunteers in Superior, because we do have clients in Superior who are looking for that grocery shopping and delivery, and that's just one of the needs right now.
That's awesome. And hey, for our viewers out there, you can find all of this information and the phone numbers too, ageWellArrowhead.com. Jacob Dreyer, who is the new executive director over there. Jacob, appreciate you stopping by, and thank you for the work that you do as well.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Of course. Well, hey, stick around. We'll have more coming up right after the break here on Northern Life.
Northern Legacy on Northern Life is brought to you by Dahlberg Law.
Welcome back, folks. It's that time again now to chat with estate planning attorney Chris Dahlberg. A lot of folks are going to their cabin, and they've been going to the cabin the entire summer, and it's been a pleasure talking with you about these cabins and about what folks should be doing.
Right, yeah.
Yes, and so you're going to be talking this week about a legal action called a partition action. What is that now?
Well, this is the sad part about cabin law, and so this is where it really goes bad. And so a partition action is any time, like with real property, parties who have interest in real property can't agree. And it could be a home, it could be a cabin, it could be a rental property. So let's say the parents die. Sometimes with a home, one of the kids out of 4 kids is hunkered in like a boll weevil. They can't get them out, or they have disagreements. And so with a cabin, what can happen is, let's say, and here's a good scenario, 4 kids inherit the cabin, and they go, okay, we're going to enjoy it, try to go along. They mumble along for a couple of years, but then all of a sudden, out of the 4 kids, 2 of them are not paying. They don't pay the property taxes. And they say, hey, you got to pay the property taxes. You got to do this. Would you at least mow the lawn? And all you ever see when they leave, beer cans strewn all over there, the broken windows and everything. It's just nothing but a nightmare. Now, finally, the other 2 where we're really trying to make a go of the cabin, they're starting to use it less and less. And finally, they're saying, we almost feel threatened, because you have some of these scenarios where families actually get almost into fisticuffs, and it can not only be the kids, but it can be their spouses and everything, and saying, we've got an entitlement issue, this is ours. And so then all of a sudden the kids say, you know what, we can't even use it, they're so hostile. So with a partition action, what you do is you just say, and it's almost like the nuclear option, because you're going to lose the cabin for good. And so if you say, okay, I don't get to use it anymore, They're just enjoying it. They're hogging it up. And I want to just get this sold. You know, at least I'll get our parents' inheritance out of this. So they hire an attorney. They go and do the petition. There has to be referees that listen to the sides. But generally, it never goes to the family. They just say, okay, the decision is you can't agree on it. It's kind of like Solomon splitting the baby. We can't split the cabin, so what are we going to do? We're putting it up for the highest price. So they might get extra money for the cabin, but it's gone forever. Remember what we keep talking about, they're not making any more lakes.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
So that's it's the heartbreaking thing. And, you know, I just tell people, frankly, right out, the only ones that are going to make any money on this are the attorneys representing the sides, because it just divides the families. You know, they're never going to talk to each other, and it's it's really bad news.
So this is a last-ditch effort type of thing. This is after you've done everything else, this is the unfortunate option.
And you know, we've been doing this so many shows now, and you know what it could have prevented this, right?
Cabin trust, right?
Exactly,
Yes.
because the parents could have had a little bit of forethought and said, listen, we're going to have a release valve in this, saying, if you want to get out, how do you get out? And also requirements of assessments, and you can have also voluntary, like a separation. If you give an assessment to somebody and they're not paying the property taxes for a time, it's just like almost an eviction, or you're saying you're out of here, and they can do it, but legally. So this way, you know, they can just say, here's the rules. And, you know, you can have 5 kids and you got the bull in the china shop who knows everything, and he's going to run it. And the others, at least this way, say, I'm sorry. The parents set up a cabin trust. There's rules. You're not following the rules. You know, so sorry, so sad.
Yes.
So it's just, you know, for the listeners and for the parents out there that have these cabins, you're thinking of passing it on, just don't throw it in your lap. Because I think at the last show I said, this is like throwing raw meat on the floor. And it, you know, and a lot of times I have parents say, you know, my kids get along great, and that's good.
Yep.
But it's kind of a cross your fingers.
And that's what it's all about, is keeping the family together.
Exactly.
And that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you so much,
Yeah,
Chris.
nice to be
Appreciate
here.
it. Yes,
Thank you.
wonderful. We'll be right back after the break. Well, when we see you again tomorrow here on Northern Life, we're going to get you ready for the Hayward Lumberjack World Championships that are getting underway. It's super fun stuff. And we're going to also tell you what else you can find over in Hayward tomorrow here on Northern Life. Never been to Hayward during this festival, but I always wanted to be part of it.
Yeah, I wish I should get out there someday and actually go see the events. I know, like, we've been live in Hayward before, and we've been obviously covering those events, but it'd be fun to see one in person.
It would be so cool. The log roll, something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd break something, but whatever. That'd be a lot of fun to give it a shot.
If anybody's got some connection, yeah, have me and Hunter compete on the log rolling or running across, and we'll see how it works.
People would be dying. It'd be a horrible thing. Oh, boy.
I'm going to bring my life jacket for that one. Well, if you're looking for some summertime employment, Minnesota State Fair has announced they are hiring for the 2026 fair. It's coming up August 27th through September 7th, and around 3,000 people get hired for it each year with a variety of jobs like selling corn dogs, cleaning up the fairgrounds, and directing drivers to those parking lots. Applicants, you are encouraged to register online, mnstatefair.org, before visiting in person. And there is going to be a job fair coming up July 22nd from 4 to 7 p.m. at the North End Event Center on the fairgrounds.
I bet that would be fun to be a part of all that camaraderie and all the stuff going on every single day. That'd be a blast.
I'd like to make some cheese curds and then eat said cheese curds.
Oh, put it right in there. Oh, my gosh. Thanks for joining us today. We love you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.